First at 4, President Trump under quarantine. We have the latest on battles he's facing in the White House and in court. Tonight, all eyes will be on the running mates, Mike Pence versus Kamala Harris, how the president's illness is affecting preparations for the vice presidential debate. Good afternoon, Paula.
Today is the official student count day. I'll show you how districts are really twisting themselves into pretzels to figure out how to count their students.
And Paula, we are soaring into the 70s here in southeast Michigan. Winds are swirling, but Hurricane Delta remains the big weather story as it heads towards the Gulf Coast. We'll show you what time to expect it and where right now, first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, President Donald Trump remains out of sight today as America deals with a unique situation. A commander-in-chief in quarantine, but he is still tweeting and facing a new legal setback. Today, President Trump is using Twitter, urging lawmakers to take up smaller economic aid proposals. He's tweaking his position after yesterday's surprise announcement that no large-scale stimulus package would happen until after the election. The markets plummeted, but have been rebounding today. The president's doctor says he's been COVID symptom-free for more than 24 hours with normal respiration and oxygen saturation levels. Now, we did just learn the president has returned to the Oval Office for the first time since his diagnosis. His chief of staff talked about precautions at the White House.
We do mandate social distancing as much as practical, and when we're not, and when we're there, obviously wearing masks when you can't do that in private meetings, we try to do that. The other part of that is testing on a daily basis. With all the senior staff, we were testing on a daily basis.
Now, as for the legal setback, an appeals court has ruled President Trump must give his tax records to a New York prosecutor. A stay in that case continues pending a likely appeal to the United States Supreme Court. Here in Michigan, we are tracking the number of cases statewide, and they are still trending up. The state reporting more than 1,000 new cases in the past 24 hours. Most likely, the total will push over 130,000 tomorrow. You can see the current number on your screen right there. We did lose another 9 people since yesterday, and we're seeing more hospitalizations over the past 2 weeks, but critical care data remains stable. Well, the threat of possible coronavirus infection is hanging over tonight's vice presidential debate. New precautions are in place, even as some question if it is safe for Vice President Mike Pence to be there. But the show will go on. Let's bring in Kimberly Gill to talk about some of the preparations for tonight. Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. After last week's presidential debate, many were already looking forward to tonight's debate for much more substance from Vice President Mike Pence and Democrat Senator Kamala Harris. Well, now this meeting has become even more important as future presidential debates could be in doubt. So first, let's talk about COVID precautions in Salt Lake City. So Pence and Harris will now be standing 12 feet apart instead of 7. Harris insisted on a plexiglass barrier, which the vice president's team resisted. Even though Pence was in contact with the president and others who have tested positive last week, he has continued to test negative himself. Finally, the small audience will be required to wear masks or they will be asked to leave. You may remember the president's family did not wear masks during last week's debate in Cleveland. So tonight, each candidate will have a chance to show that they are ready to step into the Oval Office if needed. President Trump, of course, is 74 years old and fighting coronavirus. At age 77, Joe Biden would be the oldest person ever elected president. Our debate coverage continues when you join us tonight at 5. Karen, until then, we'll send it back to you.
All right. And Kim, when is the next presidential debate supposed to happen? What's the latest on that?
So it's going to be a week, presuming it happens, a week from tomorrow. It's supposed to be in Miami on October 15th. Joe Biden has said the debate should not happen if the president is still testing positive for coronavirus. Plus, we're still waiting to hear if the Commission on Presidential Debates will make any changes to provide a more orderly discussion and if both candidates would agree to any of those changes. So a lot up in the air, Karen, but we'll keep you posted.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Don't forget, the WDIV Trust Index team will be monitoring the debate tonight at 9. You can receive instant fact-checking at clickondetroit.com as the debate is live on Local 4. Plus, Grant Herms will have a morning wrap-up on Local 4 News Today with Evrod and Rhonda. Breaking news out of Ypsilanti Township. We are tracking this serious crash involving multiple cars and a semi. The intersection of Rawsonville and Textile Roads was closed for a while but has now reopened. Sky 4 flew over the scene. You can see a lot of damage done to one of the cars. Right now, the extent of any injuries is unknown. We'll keep you updated with any new information. A shooting at a party in Inkster ends with a deadly crash over in Dearborn Heights. Early this morning, police say 2 gunmen opened fire during a party at an apartment complex. Witnesses jumped in to drive the victims to the hospital, but one of the cars involved ended up in a crash where a woman was ejected and she didn't survive. Right now, the conditions of the shooting victims are unknown. Police are gathering evidence and searching for the shooters. Hurricane Delta already pounding Mexico. Up next, it will move through the Gulf of Mexico and then target the U.S. coast. Delta was a Category 2 hurricane as it made landfall this morning just south of the resort town of Cancun. So far, we don't have any reports of deaths or injuries, but the storm did knock out the power to about 266,000 customers, or 1/3 of the total in that area. We'll be watching Delta for a while. Meteorologist Ben Bailey joining us now with the very latest on the storm's projected path. Ben.
Hey, Karen, yeah, that storm was a Category 4 before it made landfall. Of course, it weakened, as you mentioned, to a 2 as it ran through the peninsula. It's now over the open waters of the Gulf, and it's starting to make its trek towards the U.S. So let's pick it up on the satellite image. You can see, don't really see an eye defined there right now, but we will be getting that as it goes over warmer waters, goes over calmer conditions with a little bit less wind above to sort of tear it apart. The current stats on Delta have it as a Category 2 storm, 100-mile-per-hour sustained winds. This will be gaining strength, and it will start curving to the right. And the track on this pretty much unchanged. It's been inching a little bit to the left over the last couple of days, but still could be a major Category 3 hurricane at landfall, probably late Friday before it makes landfall there. And you'll remember this is very close to where Laura, which was a Cat 4, hit earlier this year. A remarkable similarity in the track of these storms. Coming up, we'll look at the impact that this is going to have on our forecast as we head towards the weekend and when we'll finally get rid of this wind. All coming up in a few minutes, Gary.
All right, thank you, Ben. This year, empty seats in the classroom definitely does not mean students are missing in action. The COVID pandemic is making the traditional count day a little more complicated. Some districts are all remote, others are half and half. So how do you get an accurate accounting of your students? Paula Tutman takes a look.
Student count day is critical. I think we can just go ahead and bake that right into the equation. This is how districts get their funding. School districts have employed a variety of ways to get their students back into learning, whether students are being taught virtually, face-to-face, or a combination. The state needs to know how many students are present. 45% of Novi students are doing hybrid learning, twice a week physically in classrooms, 3 times a week virtual. Another 55% of the total 6,700 students are completely virtual. So the task today is figuring out how many students in total are getting regular, measurable, and consistent learning, no matter the teaching model.
We have live instruction. It just occurs virtually. And so our teachers are counting students today, taking attendance virtually. At the middle and high school, they're taking it each hour with their students via Zoom. And then at the elementary level, our teachers are taking attendance in the morning and the afternoon, again via Zoom.
Dr. Steve Matthews, the superintendent of the Novi Community School District, believes his district has lost at least 50 students to private schools and other digital platforms, which means the district will lose close to $442,000 in state funding.
Welcome, team, to a brief tutorial on how to take virtual attendance.
Southfield Public Schools are 100% virtual, and its count process is so difficult, it released a tutorial to its teachers. Its student population used to be 5,800. With senior attrition and some unaccounted for students, that number could be closer to 5,575 over its 4-week count period.
If you are working remote or virtually, you are required to take attendance for those students for 4 consecutive weeks and have documentation for the 4 consecutive weeks to show that you've had the two-way communication.
With funding at $11,331 per pupil, it's critical to find the 225 fewer students who may not be part of natural attrition, but that could prove difficult.
Many of our families struggle with the utilization of technology.
However the count is being done, the final numbers will also give us a snapshot into what parents and teachers are dealing with and how education will look moving forward. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
And schools do have an opportunity to find and count students over the next 10 days to 4 weeks, depending on the learning model. But it is critical that students be present and accounted for, no matter what their learning model is. Still ahead here, first at 4, we will show you a bridge that didn't stand a chance against a raging river. The collapse and an explosion caught on video. Trending stories, Olivia Newton-John talks about her cancer battle and what she says has helped her regain her strength. Up first, take a look at this woman. Pinned to the floor of a police car, an officer was fired, but was fighting for his job back. We'll tell you how that battle ended.